You're welcome back to Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. We had the newspaper review, and now it's time to have the conversation, that is going on around. And it's the case of Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna, former minister of the FCT. And right here, some days ago, or about last week, he made a claim that he was going to be picked up, um, anytime soon. And eventually he was coming into the country via the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport right there in Abuja, from Cairo. And there was an attempted arrest on him, but somehow he was not arrested that day, but his passport was seized. And in some days, just about 3 or 2 days ago, he made a claim during an interview right there where he had he made some claims right there on the fact that there was a wiretapping right there. But I'll read out I'll read it out to you so that you can get the full picture of things. There, the National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Rabado faces allegations from former Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai recently. El-Rufai alleged that the office of the NSA procured a dangerous chemical, claims which the office of the NSA has strongly denied. ANSA, that's Office of National Security Advisor, urges El-Rufai to submit any evidence to the Department of State Services for investigation. Recall that just recently there was an attempt to arrest El-Rufai by security operatives at Abuja's Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport after returning from Cairo. El-Rufai would later go on to claim that the attempted arrest was ordered by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, at Ribado's behest. And then during a recent interview, El-Rufai claims that Ribado's phone had been wiretapped, giving him access to conversation where the National Security Advisor purportedly instructed security agents to detain him. There have been reports of lawsuits filed against Malam Nasir El-Rufai by FAST, the DSS, and the federal government. This is where we stand. And just yesterday, there was protest too at the Efcc, office there when he made an appearance at the Efcc. There was a protest, a pro, an anti-protest. There was a protest against him, and there was a protest, by his own supporters. Well, we had the spokesperson of the Efcc, Dele Oyewale. He addressed the protesters, especially the anti-side, the people who were against Malam El-Rufai at the Efcc office. He addressed them and said that they were going to have a fair, a fair investigation into the matter, and they were going to treat some of their points, some of their, grievances, fairly. And to the side where you had the pro-protesters, there was tear gas. We're going to be having the videos on that. For the conversation we have with us, our guest, Barrister Moses Obaditan, a barrister and a legal practitioner and an analyst right here, political analyst. Good morning, Barrister. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. When you heard that, when you watched and listened to some of these updates on the matter, on the things that were said by Malam Nasir El-Rufai, what was your overview of it, especially as this thing that he has said cannot be substantiated, the claims of the toxic chemical that was, imported, thallium sulfate, and how dangerous it is, and then the wiretapping, issue. As a lawyer, what was your overview of the whole thing?
Well, apart from being a lawyer, I've been on the terrain of politics, and when it comes to talking, El-Rufai can talk, especially when he's angry with you. I could borrow a local word that he has mouth diarrhea. And when you have people who speak without reasoning and taking caution what they say, they are going to be in trouble just as he's in trouble now. But trouble is not new to his name. He has been in and out. And while he was governor too, he was a troubler of Israel in his own state. And so I think maybe the same thing is haunting him today. And that's why he finds it difficult to rest. Now, if you say somebody imported chemical into the country, and you are not just an illiterate person, you're a learned person, you've been in Federal Capital Territory, you've been governor. So surely I won't say he doesn't have evidence to substantiate his claim. So let's wait and see if by the time he's dragged to court, if he fails to substantiate it, then we will say it's unfortunate.
All right, Barrister, let's look at it from this angle, although we'll call for the video where he admitted that he wiretapped the NSA's phone calls and all that. For clarity's sake, how grave or how serious is that offense in court? He went to a national television station and agreed, said it publicly. And I think that's one of the reasons why the FG now is arraigning him on that, because it's a grave offense. As a legal practitioner, how grave, how serious is that kind of offense? Because it's believed that you're trying to intercept national security issue. And if that offense is mild, or how serious can that be?
Well, I won't say it's mild, neither will I say it's grave. An offense is offense. It's an offense against the state. There's what we call personal confession. That look, I tap it. I remember over 40 years ago in USA, that we were called Watergate scandal. No, the then president asked some people to tap the phone of opponents, and that led to the president has to quit the stage. We don't go for second time. So if you tap,
he didn't actually say he tapped. He just had access to what was tapped.
That is
it the same thing?
It's the same thing. If I send you to take something that does not belong to you, something I'm not supposed to be accessory to, and I say it is Tokwe, or maybe he has not mentioned him now. So that means he was also involved. You call it conspiracy. So then if he has done that, and it's which both the constitutions and the Cybercrime Act is against, so that's why I said he's a mouth talk before he thinks. Because at his level, at his age, everybody should be in his 70 now. And if that level, he should know the implication of what he's going to say. They will not keep quiet, especially based on someone who is the NSA, National Security Advisor to the President. So that means whatever they are discussing at that level is having access to them. And that will not be good enough, because he himself will not take that as a governor. So for me, I think it's a criminal offense, but we can't say grave. It's not, he has not committed murder. Neither has he attempted to take over the government. But then it will be according to the prescribed punishment. If it's, but then let me tell you, in Nigeria, when you belong, this issue of he has committed this, you don't hear the noise. About a year ago, how, or two now, how they were pursuing the Bello of Yaya Bello of Kogi State. You think the next month is going to be in jail. The man is still talking, and it's not even possibly on the way to Saudi Arabia. Yes. So, and not only that, look at what happened at the what they call it, Delta State, Okowa. Okowa was accused of 1.1 trillion, and he stayed some days in the Efcc. By the time he's released, today is the coordinator for the president in that Niger Delta. So that's why I'm saying there could be a political solution. The world should look like those should all to have been taken care of. So there are some people who are likely to say, "Sir, this man will spill a lot of beans. Let's leave him." It's like a dog, you don't bark when a dog is barking. I think that should have been the best approach. But since this one has to do with the security of the state, there's nothing wrong in state going to it, the nitty-gritty. If they are able to use the statement against him and could not substantiate who are the people he has sent and the information he has collected, and then even if he's not, so they are likely to take me. And people are saying, what is he talking? And within 24 hours or 48 hours, the man was being picked, harassed at the airport. That means surely he's accessory to the information at the highest place. So I think it's unfortunate it happens to him, but then it's going to serve as a lesson to other people, because doing that, it shows that you have a criminal mind. Doing that shows that you do not know your limits. So if you are even going to do that, you should have kept it to yourself. Like the Yoruba will say, the name we're going to give to a child is always in our mind. So if you have a reason you want to send the president go packing, you don't discuss such a thing, because those who assist the security people will be interested. Who are those people? And a lot of reshuffle has to take place even where Rubadu and their co are doing their job. So that's the way I see it.
Barrister, before Topo will comment there, you made mention of something. You said belonging. If you belong, there's a way they will run around it. Is it right to now say that this arraignment by the federal government, because El-Rufai is in the ADC, can we say it's politically now motivated because he's in the opposition, and that's why they are deciding to follow due process in arraigning him on this matter? If he were to be in the current administration, are you saying that there's every tendency, even if he gets to declare it in a national television, they might overlook it?
Do you know a senator whose wife was a court of appeal judge, said, my wife used to assist some of her colleagues whenever we have case. I know that is as dangerous as what El-Rufai has said. And some of you are here know how my wife helped you to get through an election tribunal. Not only that, there are other people who have made similar statements, but below, they belong because they are part of it. Assuming, without considering, that El-Rufai is still in APC. This would have been, they would have just felt it's just a mere joke. They won't take it serious. But because today he's in the opposition, that's number one. Number two, the other side, because if you see today's paper, I just begin to laugh. What were they saying? They are now bringing that he has committed fraud of 33 billion. And I laugh. The man has been in his freedom all these years. Is it now that you just discover he has stolen money? So that's why I say, if you are following and you are a good follower, you have not committed sin according to Saint Oshiomhole Bible. Join us and your sin will be forgiven. Be against us and you will be against you. So those are the things that have been part of this political arrangement in the land. So it's not new. El-Rufai know what to do. He knows to contact it when the heat is hot. And then you don't hear the noise, and that may be the end of the whole story.
All right, Barrister, let's look at some of the components of this report and allegation. The thallium sulfate thing is a very dangerous chemical. Tasteless, odorless, and colorless. Very deadly. And this part of it where the allegation came that it was brought into the country, there is a procurement procedure where you have to get some permissions from licenses from some of this administration. The NSA, Office of the NSA is one of it. Can we say that there are certain times where national security, can override, the concerns that the people may have about the procurement or the importation of this particular kind of substance? That's on the one hand. Then, okay, please go ahead and answer that.
You see, when there's a law guiding a particular importation, no exemption. If there's going to be, it will have been stated in the acts or in the law guiding those issues. For example, if you are a foreign contractor and you are coming to do business in Nigeria, it has been put in CAMA. CAMA means Company and Allied Matters Act, that if you come here, we're going to give you a holiday of 5 years so that you'll be able to stabilize. If you are bringing a particular product because it is useful for education and some other essentials, so they are going to give you a sort of other holiday or free importation. For example, in those days, they don't tax people when you are bringing books, stationaries, so as to augment the educational part of it. But I don't know the law today, if it has been reviewed. So, but then in recent time, there have been churches and individuals being accused of bringing goods without paying duties. And if at a point in time, even one of the richest men in Africa, they even accused his company that they were not paying the accurate due. So in Nigeria, there have been this abuse that if you belong, like I rightly said, if you belong to the ruling class, there's nothing impossible. And I'll give you some historical back. Several years, maybe not totally related, but it has related. During the military era, there was a woman called Iyabo Oshikoya. And then the woman smuggled drugs, cannabis, to Britain. and he was already at Heathrow Airport when she was caught. And they asked the question, how come that you beat the security at the Lagos airport? He said, my boyfriend has who's your boyfriend? He mentioned a general or a brigadier. And Gowon just called him, and that's how they sacked him from the job. That was the day when the military are going with their discipline. But today in a civilian administration, you will see some people just, hello, that lady is my girlfriend or my decent, please, can you see what you can do about the clearing and the duties? And so many money will have made from all this one. And then if there's a prohibited good that finds way out, find out, how did they pass through? In recent time, you think the customer will be rushing after people who are selling rice at the Igbo market. Then we're asking, did it not pass through your airport? Did it not pass the seaport? Why don't you take measure there? Is it now that they are market at market that you are now pursuing them? So that's why I said there are many abuses which happen in our country which cannot find itself in other climes because they're going to sanction the officer to allow the law to be broken.
All right, Barrister, this is the NSA we're talking about, the National Security Advisor.
Yes.
I mean, this is a time where we have a lot of insecurity issues around us. Could there have been a possible reason why this chemical would have been brought in on the basis of national security, where El-Rufai's statements may jeopardize that particular, operation? It may be covert. Are you saying that the Constitution does not allow for that, covert operations, issues of national security, where you're not required to disclose, no matter how deadly this thing may be, no matter how the public may feel like we deserve a sort of explanation, especially as concerning a weapon of mass destruction, so to speak, like this one that can be used, a toxic chemical like this. So is there a part of the Constitution that probably gives that kind of power to the NSA, being who he is with that office in this particular situation? Or Nigerians are also expecting that if an El-Rufai, who was alleged, can already be charged based on what he said, and that the fact that it is constitutionally unlawful, like he said too, or illegal, is there a way, or is there part of this that the NSA is also found culpable, and he himself should be, charged as well?
Let me start by saying, for every law, there's exception. If the law guiding those chemical importation, there's exception, that except the state is in need of this. And then two, what are those things that the state is likely to use them for? Then it has to go through process. Maybe the secretary to the federal government could write a letter to the appropriate quarters, or the permanent secretary, Minister of Defense could write and say, we need all these ones. If those ones are not, even on the long run, it was discovered that allegation of El-Rufai was true, and that Ribadu brought in that one for private use, or he assisted somebody to bring it in. So you can see the dimension. But if it is done on behalf of the state, he will be able to tell the public and say, well, we brought them in, but this is the letter. This is the process. Even
when it's a national security issue?
Yes.
Tell the people?
No, he has to defend himself, because you can't just charge El-Rufai and said he made this statement against me. And he was able to substantiate that, look, this is the thing you brought in. So it's now left. Remember, Ribadu does not have immunity. Only the president, the governor, the vice president, and the deputy governor. So he probably will be expected to come with his lawyer to the court that what this man said was not a blackmail. Neither has it tarnished your image. But then, in the course of our operation, we need this one. It doesn't need to go to nitty-gritty of the use of it, but the state required. And I've gotten the permission. And this is my letter. So the fact that he said NSC does not give me the rights to just say, okay, I'm bringing this in without following due process. It could happen. But that is not that. And, in the court, the lawyer of, what do you call it?
No Ribadu
will be able to punch them there and say, okay, the father you're done. Do you have the right of bringing this one? Don't you know the implication? All of this are this one. But if the letter backing Ribadu there, but remember too, in Nigeria, they could backdate the letter.
I was about to ask you.
Yes, so as a defense.
It is out now. It is out now. The president's, just at a function yesterday was praising Ribadu. I was going to ask you about the stance, the posture of that particular action. This is a person that an allegation was made against. Yes, he's one of your, appointees and all. How do you expect the people to view this vis-a-vis what is going on around?
You see, in our own country, a friend of a friend is a friend. An enemy of an enemy is also an enemy. As far as the president is concerned, Ribadu is his friend. He's somebody who is working with him. So for El-Rufai to want to tarnish his image, and the man is able to get him, his passport is not received, he's honored before boy, you are doing well. So what do you expect the president to lament? No, he will just dance and say, the world we want it, that's what we got it. But the problem is this: the world is watching. The whole world is a global village. They want to look, do you follow the procedure? Is what the man has done, is he a lie? Has he actually said his truth? What measure are you taking? That's why each time there's a level where they say the global assessors on corruption, on this one, begin to and say we are nose diving. These are little things that we do not give cognizance to. So the fact that they are praising Ribadu and praising that one is immaterial. But what really matters is that what will the court say? The court will not praise Ribadu if he violated the law. Then that why would they praise El-Rufai if himself has just spoken just without having something to back up? And that's why I say at his age, with his exposure and many other things, he wouldn't have gone to that level and just say you brought in chemical without having concrete evidence, without being able to call witnesses. So it's not left for the state to be able to defend themselves.
If it does bring evidences to back up his claim, what about the wiretapping part of the whole thing?
I've said it from the beginning that that's criminal.
Okay.
And he could go for it. But the issue I say that El-Rufai you are saying is not likely to end up in jail. They will only be on detention. You know why? Because of 2027. The man, we're on television. Let me give you. At a point in time, the North, especially the governor in the northern state, were not ready for Bola Tinubu to become the candidate of APC. It was this same El-Rufai that went around and said, old boy, let's give now his support. It is now, since it is the turn of the North that is still in charge under Buhari, let's give it to the South. I mean, there's a man I think I can back up, we'll go for you. So he was at the forefront campaigning. And when the things turn around, that for security reasons, El-Rufai was dropped as a minister, the bitterness was there. Look, I've paid people, I've done so much for this man. Is this the way they're going to reward me? And look at Wike too. Why is he so bitter? Why is PDP dying today? Because he felt, haven't used my money for PDP, do this and do that. For me to now become the running mate of Atiku, they do not see me fit. So these are some, that's why sometimes when an event happens, don't be too bitter. If it doesn't work today, there could be another way. So that's why I felt from that day onward, El-Rufai never said anything good in this government. So it is they've set trap for him, and he entered for him to say some of the information that they are trapping. Who are they trapping? Is it you? Is it your agent? He will tell the court when the appropriate time comes. So there is no person who can do that anywhere in the world. It's against the security of the state. In fact, it can even be charged for so many things never envisaged. As maybe you want to take over the government. So these are some of those things. But then it is not, it's even the court says so, that your phone is your privacy. I do not supposed to use any means to get information from you. If I do that, I violated and abuse your right.
All right, Barrister, still talking about the issue of this chemical substance gotten on the Premium Times newspaper, we have this: Ribadu denies importing dangerous chemicals. Is that enough to clear him of that allegation by El-Rufai, or do you think, in your opinion, he has other steps to take to clarify that? Although he has said that El-Rufai should get evidences, but is it enough to just deny that allegation and just allow it to go like that?
Femi, in Nigeria, no one ever agree that he's wrong until it's proved to be so. When Edugate happened, the lady said there's nothing like that until they prove her wrong. When the Inaji happened and they alleged that he has no particular certificate, he said it was a lie until the newspaper brings all the nitty-gritty, all the facts that are needed to prove the case. So the fact that El-Rufai said no, let's wait, see who alleges must prove. So if he's able to prove to the court, then, or to whatever body they are taking him to, then that means somebody is lying. The two of them can't be lying together. Somebody who's saying the truth should know what he's saying.
All right. Thank you, Barrister, for joining us on the show this morning. We understand that you need to go. Barrister Moses Obaditan has helped us make light of and sense of the conversation on the NSA and the EFCC and Nasir El-Rufai. We'll be taking a quick breather at this time, and when we come back, it's time to head into the second conversation. Stay with us.